Hello, this is part 2 of the video all 6 trig ratios. As previously stated, in this problem you're going to look at all the trigonometric ratios. Before, we used to have opposite over hypotenuse being sine, cosine being adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent being opposite over adjacent. Now we are introducing also the cosecant, secant, and cotangent, and their corresponding ratios are right here. So let's start by looking at the angle of reference. As you can see in this problem, the angle of reference is shown by the angle theta. Once we have the angle of reference, we have to determine which sides are which. Across from the angle of reference, we have the opposite side. Across from the 90-degree angle, which is right here, we have the hypotenuse. And we also have the adjacent side. And for this one, we're going to be looking at all these ratios in order to find the 6 trigonometric ratios. Okay, so let's start with sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite being the square root of 33. So we're going to write square root of 33. And hypotenuse being 7. The next one is cosine. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So let's start with the adjacent, which is 4. And the hypotenuse, which is 7. We also have the tangent, which is opposite over adjacent, as you can see right here. I'm circling it in green. So opposite would be square root of 33, and adjacent would be 4. Once we complete those 3 problems, in order to find the ones on the right, and I'm talking about cosecant, secant, and cotangent, all we have to do is flip the 3 ratios that we already have. So to get the cosecant, we have to flip this 2. What does that mean? It means that the numerator, which is square root of 33 from sine, becomes the denominator, and I would put it at the bottom, and the 7 that I have in the denominator of sine, which is right there, would move to the top. Similarly, for cosine, we are going to invert those 2 numbers, and that's going to be our secant. So let me start with the 7 now goes at the top instead of at the bottom, and the 4 now goes at the bottom instead of the top. Same thing with the tangent to get the cotangent. So the 4 at the bottom now becomes the 4 at the top, and the square root of 33, which was at the numerator spot, it will now be in the denominator. This concludes the video on finding all 6 trigonometric ratios.